What are YouTube? Next up, we got Matt Barnes on Jordan and Kobe GOAT conversation. You already know Michael Jordan, the GOAT. Kobe Bryant, the GOAT. I'm gonna say this, man. I love Kobe. Like, I love Kobe Bryant. And you know, Jordan's amazing. That's gonna be a discussion for like 20, 30 years from now. Like, that shit crazy. But we finna react to Matt Barnes. Y'all know, AKA Matt Barnes. Won a ring with my Golden State Warriors, even though he was hurt. But he got that ring. He got a ring. So yeah, man. You know what he did to Kobe. He did like this with the ball, and Kobe didn't flinch. Like, yeah, that shit crazy. But shout out Matt Barnes though. Let's get right to the video. Let's.
When you look at, like, because we always hear that you obviously played not too long ago, 5 years ago, right? What, 2017 was your last year? Yeah. Was that the year you won a ring with the Warriors, right? Yeah. And we hear about, you kind of played through a whole era, then kind of, I feel like 2013, 14 is when the NBA really started to go heavily towards the three. But who's somebody who gives you, like, when you came into the league, energy, like just someone who's tough, someone who's playing right now who
I just like guys that play hard, because I think obviously the game has changed so much that, like, the game is continuing to grow, and it's because it's more offensive. You know what I mean? Like, 78 to 82.
I mean, the Thunder put up 150 last night against the Celtics.
These low defensive grinding games they used to get don't sell. People when they turn on TV or they watch it on their phone, they want to see dunks. They want to see threes from half court.
Can you imagine if the Spurs and Pistons were in the finals in 2021? People would kill themselves.
It wouldn't work. So I say all that to say there's like it's kind of like, the guys that played like me are kind of like the last of a dying breed. You know what I mean? The 3-and-D, somewhat enforcers, tough, glue guys. Guys like Pat Bev, guys like PJ Tucker.
Oh, PJ, yeah. We talked about Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder's in a similar role. Like, great guy, like great locker room guy, great guy, OG vet. So the game kind of has changed. So but to me, I'm not one of those guys like, oh man, they don't play defense. Not like.
But y'all comment, let me know if y'all like Matt Barnes. I'll fuck with Matt Barnes though. His podcast lit, super lit.
I appreciate what it is. You know what I mean? Like, these fucking kids are so talented, man. These kids are super skilled, talented, athletic as can be, and they're just, they're in their way, they're taking the games to the new level. So I love it.
When I always, because I grew up a Jordan fan. I obviously was a Suns fan, but I loved Jordan more than I loved the Suns as a kid. But I am kind of on the LeBron side of the GOAT convo.
Ooh, I'm not mad at that.
And that's just because I look at who he played in the finals. I feel like he went up against the Warriors all those years. He went up against the dynasty of the Spurs. He
had to go through Detroit.
He had to go through Detroit, who just won a ring to get to the finals.
Boston.
He had to go through Boston. I think we also got to think about, like, who he had on that Cavaliers team in 05 when they went to or was it 07? Was it 07 or 05 when they went to the finals?
I don't know. I would have to look.
It was against the Spurs, but I think that, like, he went.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of LeBron James. I think they swept the niggas too. I was watching basketball. I'm a big basketball. I love basketball.
Went through the Thunder with KD, Russ, and James Harden.
I'm not mad. I
just think that the league's talent pool is so much more higher than it was when Jordan, and of course, Jordan had to go through the Pistons, and you know, there was Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and those guys. But I just think the talent pool, like if I love watching every team right now. I have League Pass. There's not a team that I'm not interested in.
Because they got a couple of guys that can go.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, the Pistons are on. Well, Cade Cunningham's out, but I'm like, oh, I want to see Ivy. I want to see Bay. Like, there's like,
I get it. No, I definitely get it.
and when I was a kid, like the Clippers like sucked. Like they really sucked.
But even the teams that aren't good are still fun to watch and have good
right now, it's
players,
crazy. It's
you know
crazy.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what was the question though?
No, I was going to say, like, do you feel like the talent, because you played through so many, like 15 years, do you feel like the talent pool nowadays is just off the charts deeper than it's ever been? Or is that just recency bias because we're watching basketball every night?
I think the skill level might be as high as we've ever seen it. Talent, you know, you think back to the, you know, late 80s, early 90s, and then I don't even want to disrespect no era because every era had talent, but yeah, I'm thinking like, you know, young Mike in that era. There was a lot of motherfuckers in that era, but I think often, you know, we're kind of prisoners of now and what we've seen of late. You know what I mean? So obviously there's a lot of talent on both sides, but I just feel like the skill level, the athleticism, all this shit is just it's continues to grow.
I think like back in the day, like the Cavaliers were like a big deal for the Bulls to go against with Craig Elo and Brad Daugherty.
Doherty, yeah.
Or whatever the fuck his name was. I used to play with him on NBA Jam when I was a kid. But I'm like, nobody's going to be like both of
Hold on, what did he say? Say where the fuck his name is.
The athleticism.
all
this shit is just it's continues to grow.
I think like back in the day, like the Cavaliers were like a big deal for the Bulls to go against with Craig Elo and Brad Daugherty.
Doherty, yeah.
Or whatever the fuck his name was. I used to play with him on NBA Jam when I was a kid. But I'm like, nobody's gonna be like both of those guys are all time greats. Nobody's saying. I mean, they were good at the time,
right?
But I think now, and I'm just like, yo, like if you look at all three of the All NBA teams every year, it's like fuck, like the fact like KD can get left off because he was injured. You know, it's just like the fact Damian Lillard is like not in the top 10 right now.
I think the game has just continued to evolve. And,
it's just crazy. Because Damian Lillard's like an all-time great point guard.
There's no question. But back to my original point, like to me, it's MJ, and there's no order, but in these three, I can give with arguments for either of them: MJ, Kobe, and Mike.
Right.
As far as to me, those are the.
Well, you said MJ, Kobe, and Mike. So you
MJ,
said
Kobe, and LeBron.
Right.
Excuse me. MJ, Kobe, and LeBron. Like to me, I can see Jordan being one. I could see some people have Kobe number one. Some people have LeBron number one. You know, I could see. To me, those three guys are, with all due respect to everyone else, at the top of the pyramid. You know, you hear guys like, you know, and you never want to disrespect legends or people that come before you, but I just feel like some of those older players, like when you talk about the top 75 list, some of those older players that were like foundational for the league and
like almost like the meaning to the league outweighs their actual talent.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like there's no way you can leave a Dwight Howard or a Vince Carter or a Tracy McGrady.
Well, the Dwight thing's crazy for sure.
So
he was the best center for 10 years.
Yeah, so it's just like there's so much stuff that, you know, to me, because like you said, the talent level is so much on it.
Hey, no facts about that. I remember my 7th, 8th grade year. I was on no, that's high school. You played varsity. But I was on the basketball team, and my first pair of shoes was Dwight's. I went off too. I went crazy. I had a good ass game that day too.
A night-to-night basis, better than it was, you know, back in the 50s, 60s. You know, coming into the 70s, it's just like a lot of these current guys that got left off, you look at it, it's just like, no, those guys really weren't better than these guys that left off. It wasn't even close.
Shut up, Matt Barnes though. I'm gonna beat Matt Barnes as well too. I'm gonna get him on the podcast and the show on the YouTube. Yeah, man. Y'all let me know who y'all top three, man. My top three. Y'all wanna hear my top three? Okay. Kobe, Steph, Giannis. They're my three. They're my top three. Yes, I leave LeBron out of it. I got Giannis holding LeBron. And y'all see what Giannis did to LeBron like a week ago when he threw his shit off the glass like he was a little ass kid. I think I put it on there. I don't know if I did or not. But yeah, but we finna get up out of here though. Like I said, comment, let me know who y'all favorite NBA player is. My son favorite player, he'll tell you Trae Young, LaMelo, and Giannis in his top 3. I know it is for a fact. But we finna get up out of here though.